Hey, good morning, guys. It is a beautiful cloudy morning here in Michigan, and someone offered to let me drive their Miata. And if you know me, I will never turn down the opportunity to drive a Miata. This is a 1996 NA 8 Miata. It has 133 horsepower, and it's Chris's car. Hey, Chris.
Hi.
Chris buys a new car about every year, and then I drive it and film it, and we have a good time.
That's exactly right.
So let's do it. This thing is completely stock. It's got 130,000 miles on it. Feels tight as a drum. It's a nice car.
Yeah.
I've been driving my dad's 91 for the last few weeks quite a bit, because I am Miata-less now. And it's just nice to feel some of the differences between the NA6 and the NA8. And this is a really good example. So I would say the two are comparable in their level of like niceness and freshness. So you got a good little car here.
It's good to hear from
Yeah,
a Miata expert.
Well, I don't know about that. Definitely go for a little drive, have some fun. So, first Miata, first
Yep.
Convertible.
Yep.
You bought this thing basically just to have some fun in. Probably whip
Yeah.
some donuts.
Go for it.
Yeah.
It's got an LSD.
It does.
Yeah, so I bought this thing about a month ago because I wanted a convertible. Had about $3,000 to spend on one. So found this in Indiana. It had just been posted a few hours prior. Similar story to my 7 Series. Got to get them while they're hot.
Yeah, you have to drop it when it's hot, and then you have to like
Thank you.
get it when it's hot. Seagull crossing. Still the best shifter in the business.
Yes.
Nobody's done it better
Love that little
since
shifter.
even Mazda, I think. I don't know. It's the best. I haven't driven a stock Miata on stock suspension in a long time.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting to feel it. Second gear beat the windows.
Yeah. I think that's the first time this car has seen 7,000 RPM. Right?
Yeah. We said this was owned by a couple old guys for
It was
life, so.
I bought it from a dude that was about 65, and the owner before him was the guy's good friend who was also in his 60s. So owned by 2 old guys in Indiana,
That's awesome.
and now it's owned by me.
That's what you want. Old fart ownership.
Oh yeah, best way to buy them.
Yeah. It sounds like it's had the timing belt done too.
Yep.
Because you have this little like whine, and it's like a half a supercharger noise.
Yeah, it had the timing belt done at I think 90,000.
Cool.
So should be good.
These things are such fun little cars.
Yeah.
They're just the best.
And then since I've had it, I did plugs and wires. 'Cause
Okay.
It was like didn't pull at all.
Sure.
Between like 3,000 and 4,000. So it did spark plug wires, and that fixed that.
And these 96s do pull. After 94 with the 1.8 motors, like these cars have a really nice balanced level of power to
They
them. They feel great. They're, you can have fun. You can enjoy them.
Such a happy noise.
Oh, it's great.
It's like there's a bunch of bees under the hood, just bzzz.
Is this an ABS car? Do you know?
I don't know. Not sure.
Okay.
I didn't
Brake
know.
pedal feels great.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got new brakes on it. So.
Cool. Sometimes it's tough to get pedal feel right, and with the ABS system, you just have to flush the heck out of the brake fluid.
Yeah. Getting stomped by a Grand Cherokee.
No, we got him. He gone. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so happy. You know, it's amazing the extra chassis stiffness Mazda put into these later model NAs. My dad's 91 just flops around like crazy, and that's a very fresh car. It has 49,000 miles on it. And this just, it feels so much tighter. It's amazing. They just did some subtle things, cross members, and, you know, it makes a difference.
Yeah.
Not as much cowl shake. Yeah, this pulls nicely. I think it feels like it has just a little bit more horsepower than my 94 did. And my 94 was like, you know, it had like a header and a tune, and
Yeah.
you know, you could do like the 14-degree timing mod and put 93 in this and get a little bit more power if you wanted to. But honestly, it's so well balanced. And there's something to be said about just throwing 87 in these cars and driving them for like $16 a tank.
Yeah, I plan on driving this up to school tomorrow, and it's going to be my daily for about a month. So
Yeah, Miata gang.
Yeah.
Find some more twisties here.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I've just gone out at like 8 p.m. during sunset and just driven on twisties.
You know,
it's the best thing to do.
That is, excuse me, that is Miata hour.
Yep.
You go out at sunset, the breeze is cool, the air is crisp, the revs are high.
Oh yeah.
That's what it's all about. Yeah. Dude, this thing is awesome. Any plans to mod anything you want to do? Do you want to leave it stock? Do you want to throw like a V8 in it? What's the goal?
Honestly, I think I'm just gonna leave it stock. You know, I've thought about doing coilovers and a little bit wider wheels and tires, but I think I really just like it how it is, and I like how I can go around a corner at 30 and it kicks the rear end out.
Yeah.
And I don't think it would do that if I did all kinds of handling mods to it. So I think it handles good enough for me, and I think it's honestly just perfect how it is. So I probably won't do anything to it.
That's a really good point. So when I had my 94, so there are stages of mods with Miatas. You know, you up the grip level, you lower its fun threshold.
Right.
So, you know, you put on sticky tires, and I think as long as you keep the 14s and you stay like 185, 195 width, you can still have just as much fun with this car and just like chuck it in. But yeah, you're going at a higher speed.
Right.
Instead of 30, you're doing like 50.
Yeah.
But it's still fun. It's still the right balance. But once you start throwing 15-inch wheels with like 205s or 225s or 215s on here, it kind of gives it the same balance, but you really have to get the suspension to match, the sway bars to match, and that's a pretty major expense. And I smell brakes. And it makes the car awesome, but just at a higher level and a higher limit, and it kind of takes away from some of the daily driving comfort. So after I modded my Miata and put the big grips kit stuff and all the 9for9 suspension, it was awesome. It was really fun, but it took away that playfulness and that enjoyable, you know, personality on the street at street speeds that the Miata is so good at. And honestly, it's just as fun stock. It really is.
Yeah.
So to everyone out there with a Miata, just know that going in before you do a bunch of crazy mods. You're not really going to make it that much more fun, unless if you put an exhaust on there, you know.
Right.
But really, I mean, I think the best thing you can do with these cars is just kind of keep them fresh. This has nice brakes. This has nice pull. It's great, man. It's super fun. Congrats, you got a good car.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Happy to hear that I chose well. It's funny, I was actually scheduled to go look at a white 93 1.6.
Oh, really?
The day before, when the guy sold it. So that's why I ended up with this one literally a day later.
That's cool. 96, I think, is a good year for these.
Yeah.
They were just really, really well balanced.
Also went and looked at a 97 that was green with tan interior, but it had so much rust that I think there was like more rust than Miata.
Yeah, it was. You don't want
and
that.
The dude wanted like $2,500 for it still. So
That's no bueno.
Yeah.
That's one thing is like you can find a Miata with rust, and it's that's like the death penalty for Miatas. Is they're just you can't bring them back really unless if you. I mean, you can do a tub replacement, but like there's just not a lot of options.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should really have the top down for this video, but we respect our viewers' ear balls and need to be able to have some audio.
Yes. Ear balls are important.
Yeah. Once you get into it, these things are decently quick, you know?
Man, I've never even taken this car over like 5,500. So
$7 grand. $7 grand. You can shift at $7 grand. Don't go over because harmonics and stuff. It kind of messes with the internals, but yeah, $7 grand is like a sweet spot.
We have found the twisties.
Found them.
Only slightly industrial over here, that's fine.
That's right. Oh man, these are the best. Just the best. And what's amazing is that how old is this car now? 22 years old?
Yeah.
No shakes, no rattles. It's tight. It's got 131,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
This is what my 94 had when I sold it, and it felt just as good. Of course, we had like just ripped the whole interior out together, apart to manual swap it, and like, bolted it back together. So there's really, literally no rattles and everything.
Yours was automatic when you bought it?
It was, well, when my buddy bought it, it was automatic, and then he swapped it. I just did a 5-speed swap.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Gotcha. Didn't know that.
That was a great little car. I do miss it.
Yeah.
And it is for sale.
Again.
But I want an S2000. Really, really bad. And then after that, probably an ND. I've heard really good things about the new 2019s. And,
yeah, they've got like a lot more power now.
They do, yeah. They added like 26 horsepower, which is huge.
Yeah, they were saying that.
Well, it still remains that you really can't have more fun in any car. I mean, they're just so good. There's a reason why they've been so popular, and they're so, they're so raced and used, and
and I shot a video on the way over here, and I was saying that, like, just talking convertibles, like, there's no better roadster or anything for the price than one of these.
Oh no.
And people will argue like, oh, you can get a Ford Mustang, but yes, it would be a garbage SN95 V6 that like practically flips over every time you take a corner.
I mean, the key with these is they're just well balanced. There's there's a lot of cars that you can buy for the price that have more power, but they're not as reliable, and they're not as fun. Nothing is this fun. This is just such a fun little package. It's great, and you can't go wrong. I mean, yeah. Just for sake, let's just whip a little donut, a little tiny one.
Whip a donut.
I mean, you need to wear these tires down anyway, don't you?
I mean, sure. I think these tires that are on it are like $30 a piece or something.
Yeah, that's right. That's perfect. Just to find some clear area.
Do some drifties.
A little bit drifties. Yeah. Celebratory.
Was this you in the BRZ?
Probably. Perfect donuts every time.
I love the smell of tire.
Yeah. Let's go look at our handiwork.
Yes.
It has just the right amount of power. It didn't even put rubber down really.
No.
Just a little bit.
A little bit.
There we go. Thanks for letting me drive this thing, man. It was an absolute pleasure.
Of course.
Let's get some.
I'll let you know next week when I buy another car.
That's right. every year like clockwork. I mean, it's almost every season. I mean, that's good. It's all about the automotive experience.
Bit of a change up though. Went from a massive 7 Series to a Miata.
Yeah, well, you know, same era though. This is a really good era for cars. I mean, this is kind of early 90s, mid 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before all the electronics invaded.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't think the new Miata is as fun as this. It really. Any of the new Miatas are not as fun as the original NA. I haven't driven an NB very much, but I don't care for the interiors a whole lot. But
yeah,
I hear the NBs are pretty sweet. Depends what you're looking for, but if you just want something fun, you can't go wrong with an NA8. This is the sweet spot right here. 94 to 97. Cool. All right, guys. Well, and on that, hope you enjoyed this video. We'll smell you later. I smell burnt rubber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good thing.
Oh yeah. Does that idle seem okay to you? Just the way it's.
Yeah. It's happy. It's even smiling.
It is. Yeah.
These tires actually have a decent amount of grip.
Yeah, they're not terrible.
No, they're fine. They're just fine. They do look like $30 tires.
They are. Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah, you can smell a little burning oil too because it slightly leaks from the valve cover gasket.
Yeah, that's an easy fix.
Cheap. Yeah.
They all do that. Yes.